find some shoes that Natalie needs.
Aren't they though?
So they're how much?
Okay, so like $2.50 with tax.
And they should be
$12.65.
So today I am sitting down with Natalie Navis of The Fold and shopthefold.com. She is one of my dear friends. So I don't know about you guys, but I definitely am craving some downtime. It's been a busy spring, and Natalie actually came and visited me here in Austin, and we went out to the family lake house where we kind of just unwound and chatted. We wish the weather would have been warmer, but we did drink champagne out on the patio for sure. So I first met Natalie probably close to 8 years ago. She was actually a lawyer and an aspiring stylist, doing personal styling, closet consulting, all those kind of details. We totally hit it off because of our love of creativity, and I've been able to watch her beautiful journey unfold, literally, because in the fold. And I think you're gonna love her story, how she transitioned from being a lawyer to running her own luxury boutique. She has went against the grain in so many ways, has put in her time and has handled everything with such detail and care, and you can see as she talks about her clients how much she loves working with them and really making them feel great about themselves and that full client experience.
So it's been almost 4 years since you've been here,
Yes.
and here we are because we needed a break terribly.
Yes.
That we're getting an escape here, a staycation for me, but you're getting to enjoy all the things I love about Austin. And we've known each other for maybe 10 years now, which is crazy, and I've been a part of a lot of it.
Right.
And I think you have a beautiful story.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I know you as a lawyer originally. You went to Creighton.
Yeah, and then Nebraska, so both Creighton undergrad, Nebraska law, and then I practiced law for about 4 years. And it seems like a really long time ago. I don't even really remember much about it, but I think the whole time I really had, knew it was just a phase of my life. I never planned to be an attorney really long term. I just kind of, went to law school.
Right
and
then.
Yeah, and it worked out, and I was doing it, and it was a job. But it wasn't, I think it was a job is exactly how I viewed it. And I decided during that time that I wasn't really looking for a job. I was looking for a career.
And a lifestyle.
And I knew that wasn't it. So while doing that, I kind of had already started planting the seeds for being in the fashion industry in some way. And it wasn't until I left law and started working in the industry I'm in now that I knew that's what I wanted to do.
And so let's fast forward ahead and then kind of fill in the blanks. And so you just celebrated a year and a half now of opening The Fold, your actual store. And then you just launched shopthefold.com in November, which is fantastic. Everyone needs to go and buy everything because you curate the most fabulous clothing. So
well, we try so hard.
And so I feel like going from law to that is quite the story.
Part of it is, I'm a fashion girl already because I'm a shopper. And not just a shopper, I love these brands that I would buy at, the majors, as we call them, Neiman's and Saks and Barney's and any of the big department stores. That's what I loved, and I knew that we didn't have any of that in my hometown. I just was a fashion girl, meaning just obsessed with fashion.
Exactly. And then you started a blog.
Yes, I started blogging
and doing design or styling consulting, for
personal
closets
styling, and doing people's closets and just offering advice, which was I felt confident offering that advice, and it just came naturally to me. And people, I worked really well with customers at the time. And
I feel like that business evolved really quickly and really naturally.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I feel like that's like a whole nother life that you lived at some point.
It was because I was doing the day job, and then at night I was doing all that. And commuting to Lincoln, for about an hour. So I was doing all that, and then but it was on the side of a job, and eventually it came as a natural time. Well, first of all, I should say I did go to New York Fashion Week, and I did that in February of 2013, and then May of 2013 had left law. So that was like the turning point, I would say. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to do this. This is the world I want to be in.
So how scared were you?
So in a way,
how is that leaving that life
the safety of a salary is always going to be scary, but and knowing that you're not going to make money for a long time. Like, you don't leave that career and then open a store the next day, because I would have had no idea what I was doing.
Or go work retail and get the same
instead I went and worked retail and made nothing. But I knew, like, it was going to get me somewhere, and it did. But it took 3.5 to 4 years of really hard work for other people to know how to do it myself and how to, have a successful business. So
what made the decision to start in the retail world, and was that something you knew you were passionate about?
No,
or did it just kind of evolve?
Not necessarily. I mean, I knew I loved to shop, but I thought, and I knew I loved to work with people. But what I did, the judge I was working for at the time was retiring, so it was a perfect time I was going to have to move to the next position I was going to take. But I didn't know where to go. There was nothing in Omaha. I knew that. At the time, there was no one I could work for to learn. No one was carrying the brands I wanted to carry, or that I was even interested in, I guess. And so the closest was Kansas City, which is a great city. And there was a great boutique there that also has their own line of denim, which is nationally sold now. And I knew, like, okay, they were willing to bring me in, and I didn't really know what capacity I would be in. I didn't know if I'd be doing all the, social media, or if I would be selling, or if I would be helping buying. Like, I didn't know what it would look like.
I'm here.
I just wanted to jump in and take whatever they would give me, because I knew, and to this day, I credit, that was a really good move, because I learned all the brands that would have been in 2013, that many of which I carry now in my store. So it was definitely finding the right place to work.
Because you definitely carry very names that are not as public, but the art form is luxury and high touch and contemporary and all these things that are kind of a secret.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're so well known. I sometimes forget that they're not. To me, I'm like, wait, everyone has had, because Tibby's been around forever, 20 years. So I'm thinking everyone knows Tibby, but in the Midwest, it's really not that common, and so. And in Omaha, nobody had it. So I was like, well, this is such a niche that is just empty and an opportunity. So when it came time to open the fold, everyone says, well, why did you open it in Omaha eventually when you lived in all these other places? And I said, because, I mean, obviously there was an opportunity in the market. There was nobody doing it. And I didn't have the competitors that I would have in other places.
True.
So it's a nice way to start.
So you were at Standard, and then essentially you got kind of drafted. You had relationships from being in Kansas City, a larger environment, to kind of run another
to manage a group. Yes, and that was in Northwest Arkansas in Fayetteville, and it's a great hub of people who are really interested in fashion. It's a very art-centric place.
Crystal
Bridges, yes. Of course, Walmart is from there, so therefore the big people who work there have to live there. The executives, and these people want to be able to buy beautiful things, and so it really is. People would say Arkansas, and I was like, no, you need to really. It's beautiful, and you should see it if you haven't been
and
there.
we took a trip together,
yes,
so
we did.
It was fantastic. And such a surprise.
And yes, that modern art museum is still my favorite. So
and I feel like that opportunity, putting yourself in an environment where you're learning the tools, I know
really more of a management role,
and understanding the back end of what this kind of non-glamorous forward-facing storefront kind of so cool.
Because it's not as glamorous as everyone thinks all the time. I mean, there's a lot of cleaning that goes on. No matter how many people you hire to clean, you still have to keep the appearance of the store, which I have none that I hired to clean, by the way. I clean it myself, but a lot of people have a cleaning service, which is great. But you still have to have it looking and merchandised the way you want it to look, and this aesthetic that you want to portray, and nobody's going to do that for you.
So that leads me to your aesthetic. So I feel like being at the Standard, kind of having your own style when you were doing styling, and then going to the other boutiques. How at that point were you kind of shaping in your mind who your shopper was and who your client was? And how did you begin to kind of put together those pieces of knowing who you wanted to buy for and who the Fold represented?
The Fold girl is, as we say, even though we're girls until we're 100 years old, we're still girls. I learned what kind of what kind of customer would buy this kind of thing in the area that we're in, and it is geographically, it's different depending on where you're located. I mean, people spend more depending on what age group they're in, different places, what they spend on. And so I did have to like really look and take in all of that from all of the boutiques I was at to figure out what, made sense for Omaha. So when people ask me, did you prepare? Or did you think about this? Or how did you prepare? I think I'm learning. I'm very much an instinctual person who learns by doing. And after I saw all of that, I didn't have to like write it down to remember. Once I saw it other places, it just is in my knowledge bank, and then you just kind of.
And I feel like you fully embody the fold woman as well.
Yes. I mean, I would never sell something I didn't love. It just doesn't make sense. But I also know that people have different styles, and so I try to help them dress for them. We try to carry an array of different things for different styles, but ultimately, yes. I mean, I am very much, I buy based on what I like, but I also like a lot of different things too. So, and I would never.
Who do I want to be today?
Yeah, and I would never want anyone to buy anything from me that they don't love, because, like, even when I love selling things to people, but if they tell me, I haven't worn that yet, I'm like, we have got to figure out how to help you wear that. And because maybe it's just figuring out what to put with it still. So the personal styling aspect is still 100%.
So how have you kind of structured how you're selling to the Fold Girl? Like, how are you doing that through social? How are you doing that through the content curation on your website now? Like, how are you figuring out how to communicate with them?
I think it's definitely, that whole brand identity and sticking to it all the time. We do a lot on social media. I just enjoy it. It's like something I enjoy posting. I love stories, and I love regular posts like every day. Like, that's just a part of my day. Like, I enjoy writing anything that's on the blog, any descriptions, any content creation is like, of course, what I would, in the blogger world, I'd love to do that every day, all day, of course. But I'm also in the business of selling, so I can't do that much. But I love doing that. The content creation is part of the blogger in me, I'm sure, and the English major. Yeah.
So how are you keeping your personal brand and the Folds brand kind of parallel, but kind of building both of them?
I definitely think, I used to think I could maintain both, and I really have. I don't do much on my personal anymore because it is so present. I am like wearing my outfits and everything.
You are the Fold.
I am the Fold.
It's kind of like
it's so one and the same right now.
Exactly.
Like, I think they expect to see me, and I expect to see them, and we both have to hold up our hands in the bargain to make it work. And I think that's just me being devoted 100% to my business. So,
true.
I guess.
And I feel like you and I both work a lot.
Yes.
And it's like our work is our identity in a lot of ways. So how do you reset, or how are you
I'm trying right
now,
your stress?
I feel like yes, we are doing that. But I do feel like you are pretty like active. Like, you do bar classes.
Well, I love bar. Just like have to get a workout in, and I was a dancer, so I really want to be doing more dance classes again. But I do like just going to bar at least. Doing that, because I have to do that. It's good for your mind, it's good for your body. And then I know a lot of the time I am doing work related stuff, but I actually enjoy it. If I am on social media, or if I'm reading blogs or reading magazines or whatever, it's still I enjoy,
like the development.
Yeah, and it totally is part of the job too, but it's what I enjoy doing. So
what is the future of the Fold? What do you feel like? Where do you see the Fold? Are you expanding? Are you
going online was big for me.
Huge.
I was
so fast.
1 year was the goal. Like after the first year in business, I wanted to be online, so we did it. And then we're building that for a while. We really need to focus on the online store as like a whole nother store, and kind of get that.
I feel like it's a whole separate business.
It is, and see where that goes. But I still love the actual. I feel like the Fold itself, like the brick and mortar, I would want that to stay, of course. I've toyed around with like more of them in other cities, because I think, I don't know, that's the big leap, and I've seen people do that well, and I've seen people do it not well. I know how hard it is, and you just have to be really ready for that. We won't do it until we.
And I feel like your ideal customer in the Fold Girl is really part of being in the fold, like you talk about with your hashtag is like having
like
that
the whole
experience.
Lifestyle.
Yes, exactly. And having them there, and having them touch and feel, and having your staff style them, and like all of that experience is like so valuable.
Yeah, we want to make sure that exact experience is translated in other stores if there were to be, and definitely online. So we end up talking to people a lot when they're going to like place an order. like they can call us and talk to us about it. I mean, there was just somebody recently, we were like trying to get this pair of shoes to her, and it was just kind of lost in the USPS world. I mean, we knew it was somewhere, but we couldn't physically.
I know about that.
And so we talked to her at least 5 times about it, and it turns out she has the shoes and everything all is good, and we can end 2017 on a happy note. But we enjoy talking to people, so even if they're online customers, we want to talk to them on the phone, through email. Like, it's that personal shopping experience
and being available
and making it online as well. So yeah, we want to keep that whole in the fold experience all the time, no matter what fold you're in.
And since it's 2018,
yes,
is there any changes that you are thinking you want to implement on a day-to-day basis for the business or for yourself?
Oh, everyday basis. Gosh, I am a little bit of a Gemini in my astrology, my sign, so that's a lot of commitment to say out loud. But something that we could implement little implementation, I'm going back to drinking hot water with lemon in the morning.
Okay.
Because I used to love doing it. I love the taste of it. It's good. It's calming. So I'm going to try to do that.
That's a simple thing.
So a personal little thing.
Yeah.
But then for the store, I think it's all about kind of maintaining that positivity every day and not getting like bogged down by it, and trying to, just maintaining perspective about how I'm living out a dream. And I think all of my girls who work there love what they're doing, and we just have to focus on that positivity every day, no matter what. I think that, we realize we're doing a really fun job. So I think sometimes in this first year and a half I forget, and so I think going forward, we're going to be positive every day, at least have a little happy moment in every day.
It is so brave of Natalie to leave her career in law and start on this journey of owning and running her shop and really creating what it means to be a Fold girl. I continue to love watching her grow and seeing her business scale, and I'm pretty sure she's going to take over a big portion of the contemporary women's boutique industry, because she's doing such huge things and follows her gut. Stay tuned next Sunday as I have a new video rolling out with photographer Stephen Carlish, who's based in Dallas, works epically worldwide. I love him. We've not had much time together, and I really enjoyed sitting down and hearing his story.
My eyes are watering. My eyes are like freezing. It's so cold. It's so cold.
Do you think we got it? You think we did good?
No, I think it was great.
Okay.
Yeah. Time to go inside. It's so cold. My hand is frozen.
I know.
To the
We didn't take one
champagne
sip of our drink. These should have been mugs.
Coffee.
Of coffee.
It's too cold.
You think we did it? That total happy.